before we start, let us review what we already learned on our last session. We learned about what's Power Automate. Also, we learned about who is Power Automate for and the types of flows that we have it on Power Automate. Also, we did a live demo. So let us recap very quick about what's Power Automate. So let me give you a quick example. So if you are working on a specific application, or for example, if as I'm posting a lot of videos on my YouTube, and I have my Twitter account super active with a lot of initiatives related to my Power Platform. So rather than every time doing or posting manually on my Twitter account, like there is a new video on my YouTube channel, I can do it very easy within Power Automate, which is we will do it together and we will test it. So a lot of things that we can do with Power Automate is from the name itself that you can automate your task rather than doing this task manually. You can automate it even in the business scenarios. For example, if you would like to send an approval email to your manager or someone who is involved in the project, so you can do it easily with Power Automate. So also, we learn who can use Power Automate. Actually, you don't need to have an IT background to use Power Automate, or you don't need to be an expert even in Power Automate because it's something really easy. You just need to learn the basic things. And Power Microsoft, actually, they are adding a lot of templates already built in, and you can use it immediately to build your flow. And we looked at the types of a flow, and for the upcoming sessions we will focus on more on the types of a flow. We will talk about the cloud flow. We will create our cloud flow together, and we will talk more about it. And also after I think not next Friday, the Friday after that, we will talk about the desktop flow and how we can use it. It's something new from Microsoft. Okay, so what we will learn today, and in case if you missed the last session, you can see it on my YouTube channel. It's already available there. And what we will learn today, we will learn about how we can create our first flow from template that already we have it on Power Automate, and how we can create also our first flow from a blank. So, and while we are doing the flow together, for sure we will do a live demo. And if you have any question, you can ask at any time. Okay, so let me open now Power Automate. Last session, I shared with you one link that you can sign up for free within Power Automate. I hope that you already did the first part. And after you log into Power Automate, you will be able to see this page. And last session, actually, we did like a quick overview about Power Automate for each button that we have it here. And we understand now all the things that we have it within Power Automate as a first step. Now, what we will learn how we can create our first flow by using a template. So today we will take three examples. We will start with the template. As I mentioned before, that you can start building your flow or make your flow by using three ways, either from a blank or from template, or you can select your connector, and from there you will be able to see what kind of things or action or trigger you can do. So we will start by building our first flow by using a template. Okay, so once you go to your Power Automate, you can go here to create, and you will be able to see start from a blank, start from template. So we will start with the template. You have different options here. Either you can check or select whatever you are looking for from here, or you can search by the name of the template if you already know, if you're already familiar with the name of the template, or you can click here all templates. So let us click on all templates here. And what I'm looking, actually, I'm looking for a flow from a template that will help me to connect between YouTube and the Twitter account. And once or whenever I'm uploading any video on my YouTube, I would like to put a specific message on my YouTube, or sorry, on my Twitter account. So you have two options here. Either you search by YouTube, what we call it, YouTube connector, or you can search for a Twitter. Let me search what kind of flow that we have it for a Twitter. So if you look at the Twitter here, you will you will be able to see all the templates that we have it already built in within Power Automate by using a Twitter as a connector. So for example here, actually, I'm looking for, I would like to share my YouTube video on a Twitter. That's it. Click on it. And once you click on it, you will be able to connect to your account. For example, here, this is my YouTube account and this is my Twitter account. You just need to put it. And from there, you need to click continue. Something really easy to do. And especially if you have the template that it will fit your purpose or whatever you are looking for. So here, you don't need to do anything. You will be able to see two things actually. The first one, it's a trigger. We call it a trigger because when I upload a video on my YouTube, something will happen, which is action, right? So this one we call it a trigger, and this one we call it as an action. The question here, I already mentioned it on my last session, that is it possible to do or add something to the template? If I need to add something, can I do it? Yes, actually you can, or you can use the template as it is. So it's up to you. And you can see here, next new step or save. So it's up to you at the end. And here you can see something here. So in our first example here, we will use it as it is and we will test it together. Then we can use another template and we can add some action. So here, as I mentioned, I don't need to do anything because it's already connected to my YouTube account. For a tweet or a Twitter already connected to my Twitter account. But what I need to do, for example, here, I need to change the message. So maybe I would like to add a test or something, test the flow. And here, once you click on it, you are able to see what kind of things that you can add it to your a tweet. For example, here you can add your video list, or you can add a video ID or a summary channel ID, whatever you are looking. But here we are using the same template, which is it's adding the link of your video. And from there, you can save it and you can check your flow. For example, here, what if I am facing any error or something? For sure, you will be able to see here a red message, and it will show you what kind of error that you already have. And for example, here there is nothing, everything is fine. So you will be able to see this message, which is your flow is ready to go, and you can test it before you go live. Okay. Now I publish it. I would like to test it actually. So I already tested this morning. So you have two options. Either you do it manually, it means you go to your YouTube, upload some video and check what kind of action will happen. Or you can check the last record or the records that you have it before. So for example, here I can test this one. Let me now open my YouTube to show you, or my Twitter to show you what happened. Cool. Now, if I look at it, it's already shown me this message. Let us open it. Test the flow. And it's 8:10 p.m., which is, it's happened before 1 minute actually. So, and it showed me I'm using Microsoft Power Platform. See? Nothing, nothing to do. It's something really easy. So every time when you are uploading any video to your YouTube, you will be able to do the same. And it will save my time rather than every time adding adding the link, adding everything to my Twitter account. Actually, now I save my time to do one step, which is add it here. Maybe we have something for LinkedIn. I'm not sure, but let me check actually. Maybe we have a template already built in. But before we jump to the LinkedIn, and if we have the same thing actually, let us check from here. You can do the same. Maybe you would like to add an action before you link it, and let me check if we have okay, cool. Share company here, trigger, no, action. Here actually you cannot post, you can share an article actually. Maybe here you can do something within your article, which is similar scenario. But let me delete this one. As I mentioned, you can add something to your flow. Maybe in your scenario that you are looking to post your video on Twitter, LinkedIn. So you have two types of action. Either you add an action similar to this one, or in parallel branch. It means when you add it here, It means whenever I'm uploading a video, do this action and this action at the same time. But if I'm adding the first one, which is this one, it means don't move to the last action, which is here, till this one is true. So it means when the first step of your action of a flow it's wrong, the flow will not move to the second step. But if we add like a second one, which is a parallel action, both of them they will post it. Even if you have, for example, the error here and this one it's true, it will work. So this is the difference between two actions that we have it here. And let me save it again and let us check what we have here. Cool. Now, what if I want to check the history of my flow, what kind of action happened, what's the last time, everything I have it. You can go back here and you can click on your flow and see. For example, here we have a details about your flow. Who is the owner? When it's created, is it on or off? And what kind of type of flow that we have it? It's automated. And what kind of a plan, which is here per user plan. We have a different license, different things. So based on these details, you will be able to see your flow details and you can see your connections. It's connected to connector. Here we have a Twitter, we have a YouTube, who is the owner. You can add by clicking edit here. And actually, here we go. You can check 28-day run history. And from there, let me click on all. You will be able to see how many minutes or the duration. It's running very fast. And here it's like before 4 minutes ago, and the time and the date. And here it will show you if it's already done and there is no error. And if there is an error, you will be able to see it with the red color. And if you want to resubmit, for example, if I have here 100 record or more than 100 things, or even if it's two, you can click whatever you want and you can resubmit it again after you fix your flow. So sometimes when you have a flow, you will face an error or something based on your application, based on your flow. So if you fix it already within your flow, you can resubmit the record from here. And this is the right place to look at your flow and check the data, check what kind of action is happening, how to maintain your flow. So now we already did the first template, which is it will save my time by posting anything every time when I'm uploading anything on my Twitter or on my YouTube. It will be automatically posted on my Twitter. So now the question, what if I would like to delete it or turn it off? How can I do this? You can go to the Euroflow and from there open it, click on edit, or from here you will be able to see edit, share, save, and all these action. And you can click on turn off. Turn off, it means don't delete it, keep it. Maybe in the future I'm gonna use it, but keep it. The icon here will be changed. But if you turn it off, it means in the future, if you wanted to reuse it again, you can turn it on. So once you turn it on, it will come back normal. But if I want to delete it, it means it will be deleted forever from the cloud and you cannot retrieve it back, and you need to create it again from scratch, or you need to choose the template again. And now I have two templates here, so you can turn off this one and you can keep this one on. It's up to you at the end. And you can, for example, if I want to delete this one, you can delete it. And can I use the templates 100 times? As we see it before that, we have that same template twice, which is fine. And you can use it for different accounts actually, so it's okay. So this is for our first template. Let us now think about something else. Now I would like to use a template which is help me to send an email when any new file is added to my SharePoint. As we know, SharePoint it's a tool from Microsoft actually. Let me search, and I'm using a SharePoint to collect my data based on the application that I'm using a SharePoint as a data source for me. Okay, cool. Now I'm looking for something that, or a SharePoint that whenever I'm adding any documents to my SharePoint documents, I would like to send an email by sending an email to the Outlook or someone. Okay, now let us look at the template that we have it already built in. The first step, you need to go to templates or create. Search about the connector that you already know it. And from there, look at the templates. For example, here, send an email when a new item is created in a SharePoint. No, I'm not looking for a SharePoint list. I'm looking for a SharePoint file documents. So let me look at it like send a custom email when new SharePoint list item is added. No, let us look, send an email for maybe I can, let us see if we have a send an email with, let us check here, send email when, okay, here we go. When here you are not searching for a connector, you are searching for an action. So send an email when new item list. No, we don't need this one. Maybe I would like to use, let us see what kind, there's a lot of things that we can use it. For example, here, send an email. Actually, this one, it's not Outlook, it's a mail. We have it. So I don't recommend to use this one because while you are using this one, you are getting a lot of error and it's better to use an Outlook rather than using this one. So for example, here, if you would like to send an approval, so a lot of templates that we have it here. Okay, let me go back and search. I already have it here on my flow. So let me open it. Here we go. It send a customized email when a new file is added. Okay, let me edit this one. I already have it on my flow. So once you open it, you will be able to see three things that will happen. First, when new file, a file is created, get my profile and send an email. So as I mentioned before, maybe you don't know or you don't understand what the meaning of get my profile or what kind of action here is happening. Maybe you understand it from the topic or the title here, send an email. It means send an email, but what's the meaning of get my profile? V2, something really new for me. So how can I understand more about it? So I will share now with you one file that will help you. Didn't close it. So this one actually will help you uh, to look at all the documents that we have it. Let me open it from here. Here we go. So I will add the link within the chat. Feel free to open it and save it on your laptop. So from here, actually, you will be able to see all the actions that we have it on Power Automate, like Get Manager V2, Get My Profile. Here we go. And once you click on it, you will read all the details, like what kind of returns, what kind of action will happen, and a lot of things. So I really recommend for you to go to through these documents, especially when you are using your Power Automate in a lot of things. So this is the right place for you to look at the actions and what the meaning of each actions that we have it. Okay. So if we go back here and let me explain each pieces that we have it here. First one, I'm looking on for a template that will help me to send an email every time when any file is created within my SharePoint documents. Maybe you have another scenario, right? So it depends on your scenario. So here, when a file is created, which is this icon, it means a SharePoint. You need to put your SharePoint site and your library name. And from there, you just need to choose it from a drop down menu and something really easy to do. And second step, get my profile. Get my profile, it means send an email to the person who create this flow. In our scenario, it means my profile, which is the environment and the same account that I'm opening from the flow. But if you don't want to get your profile or if you don't want to send an email to yourself, you can remove this one actually and remove this step, and you can here within the email, if you look at send an email, I'm adding here the mail for the one from here, which is my email, because I'm getting my profile from the Office 365. And here actually we already have a specific message from the template. You can change it based on what kind of message that you would like to add. But the most important things, if you would like to add like the link to the item or whatever you are adding, all this actually, for example, here it's a green, it means it's connect, and it's providing you the data that we have it on the SharePoint. And you can just click on it and see what kind of things that we have it. For example, here I have two things. I have get my profile and I have SharePoint lists or SharePoint documents. And from there, within your email, you can add anything that you have it on your SharePoint documents and your the Outlook or the Office 365 profile. So as I mentioned, if you don't want to go with this one, you can remove it. You can add the person name, or maybe you have it in your SharePoint. It's up to you at the end. You just need to understand the basic of the template, and from there you can do the customization. Okay, cool. Now let us test it together. I don't want to change anything. I have already the SharePoint list connected here. So let me save it and let us do something here. Let me open the SharePoint and let us try to add a documents here. For example, here I would like to add a documents. Okay, so I will upload or I will create a new document, and I don't need to add anything, just to create it, and I can you can just close it. I just add it, or you can upload it. If you have any documents already in your desktop, you can upload it. So the purpose of this one step, I just wanted to test the flow with you and see if I'm gonna receive an email or not. Okay, cool. Now I have the documents. Let me refresh. Okay, I already have this document created. Let us go back to the flow and check if, let me go back now to the flow and check if the flow is working fine or there is something. Okay, cool. Now, if we look at it and if we go back here and check the history, cool, it's working and it's 14 seconds ago. It means I'm supposed to receive an email now, which is I already received it. Let me open it for you. And here we go. Hi, May. For your information, Mail Hadri, which is because on the template that I have it, added a new file. And here I can see the link of the documents and I can open it. And thanks. So you can customize the message. You can change the template. You can make it HTML style. It's up to you. You can add a pictures, whatever you would like to send an email, you can do it. And it's happened very quick, actually. The duration was very quick. So it's really, it will save my time. What if I have 100 files that I need to add it, or someone is adding a files to my SharePoint and I need to notify my manager every time that someone is adding a document and we need to get his approval. So rather than sending an email manually and checking all the things manually, you can do it here with a few steps. And this is the powerful things actually with Power Automate. You don't need to do a lot of things. You just need to understand the basic thing, and from there you can build your flow. So now we test two flow by using a templates, one for YouTube and how we can post a post on Twitter, and the second one it's about a SharePoint and how we can send a a customized email when any new file added to my SharePoint documents. Now, what if I want to create from a blank? As I mentioned, once you go to create, you will be able to see the first one start from a blank, and you will be able to see a different types. So we will start with the first one, and the rest actually I have a specific, we have a specific one for desktop flow, and we will go through this one. And if we have time, we will go through schedule a cloud. But for this one, cloud flow, actually we have a specific session next Friday, so it's better to do it next session. Okay, so today we will do this one. Next session we will do this one and this one, and the upcoming session we will focus on desktop flow and business process flow. So let's start with the first one, automated cloud flow. It means we need to have a trigger. Based on the trigger, we can run the flow. And all the templates, actually, by the way that we did it, it's automated flow. So, but now let me show it to you how we can do it from a blank. Once you click on it, you will be able to see this one. You need to type a flow name. So I will put test flow for the session. Okay. And you need to choose your flows trigger actually, and you cannot click on create unless you choose the trigger. As I mentioned, you cannot start from really a blank template. You need to have a triggers, and based on the triggers, you can add an action. So maybe if you are doing any exam for Power Automate, you will have a question like, you can start or you cannot start your flow without an action, which is wrong. You cannot start your flow without a trigger. Then, because based on the triggers, you can add your actions. Okay. Why they need the triggers? Why you need to select the triggers? Because if you are selecting a specific triggers, it means Power Automate need to make sure that you are connect to this connector. So for example here, what if I would like to see what kind of triggers here? You can click on show more, and you will be able to see a lot of things. So let me start when a file is created, or when a file is deleted, okay, which is a SharePoint, and click on create. Cool. Now the same step. I don't have anything else, right? Now I need to think about the action that I would like to add it to my flow. So if you look at it here, the first one, actually you need to see like when a file is deleted. Okay, the question here, from where I need to delete the file. You need to think what kind of data source that you need to add it here, which is here, it's a site address and it's your SharePoint site. So let me add here my example here, and you need to look at the documents or the library, which is documents. Okay, so when a file is deleted, what kind of action do we need to have? You need to think about it. So before you build your flow, and as I mentioned, you need to check the templates if we have a templates built in. If not, you need to build it by yourself, and you need to think about what kind of action that you need to add it here. So when a file is deleted, actually, maybe I would like to send an email or to specific person. So email, it means Outlook, right? So I just need to search about Outlook, and from there you are able to see a triggers and action. So here I would like to do some actions, right? I'm not looking for a triggers. A triggers, it means when something is happen. So actions, it means when something is happening before this thing, do this action. So here actually, if any file deleted from my SharePoint documents, maybe I would like to send an email, maybe I would like to delete an email, or you have a lot of action here. So it's up to you what kind of action you would like to do. But in our example, I will make it simple. I would like to send an email with options. So if you click on it, send an email with the option, it means you need to add the person name. And from here, you can, for example, let me add my email address, which is here, and the subject. You can add the subject from your SharePoint. For example, the name, file name, deleted by, or something. Maybe I can add the file deleted by, and I can here deleted by, it's mean the name of the person that deleted the file. So this is my subject. And the user option, maybe I can add an option to the user. For example, yes or no, or yeah, yes or no. And let us check what the meaning of send an email with options. And you can save it. And once you save it, as I mentioned, you are able to see here if there is an error, if something missing or something. So this is the powerful things with Power Automate. You can check where you are having an error. And if you would like to check the warnings, the error, you can do it from Flow Checker. And from here, I can test my flow. Okay, let us do it manually, and let us go to the SharePoint and delete the file by ourselves. So for example here, let me refresh the page here, and let us delete this document. And let's see if if the flow will work. And delete. Now I delete something under documents from my SharePoint site, but the same SharePoint that I connected to my flow. Now, if I would like to check the flow and how it's working, let's see. It will take a few seconds. And you need to make sure that your flow is on. If it's off, they will not receive an email, nothing will happen. So just make sure your flow is, now it show me it's running, and I think I receive an email. It's running, but it doesn't show me a green that it's already completed, right? Because I'm using send an email with option. So it means here we are waiting an action from the user, right? So if I open now the email, let me open it just a minute. Okay, here we go. It show me like the file deleted by May, and I'm waiting some action from the user, right? So I need to click yes. And once we click yes, cool. Now let me check. Because sometimes you would like to use an email with the options, you would like to collect some feedback or something. So it's up to you and based on the scenario. Now it show me green because the action from the end user already happened, and we already get the option from the user. So maybe you would like to add a approval process. Also, you can do it. There is a lot of things. And the first step for you as a beginner, I really suggest for you, and I already mentioned before, to look at the templates. Sign up for free for Power Automate. Try to play around. Maybe you are not familiar with the SharePoint, maybe you are not familiar with Power BI, but you have a lot of options here. You don't need to only use a Power Automate for Power BI, Power Apps. For example, I use the Power Automate now for sending a message to my Twitter based on my YouTube. So there is a lot of connectors, there is a lot of things. So as a first step, go to the template, check about your connector, what kind of things, try to practice more and more. And today we learned about how we can create different flows by using a template. And also we learned about how we can create a flow from a blank from here. And as I mentioned, we have different types. Today we covered this one, and we did a quick one, which is the easiest one. But maybe in your scenario in the future, I don't want to make a lot of flow now and make it complicated for you, because we are learning now as a beginner. But in upcoming session, we will do a lot of flow, and we will add more actions, and I will show you what kind of tricks and tips that we will have it within Power Automate. And also here, on upcoming session, if you are interested, we will learn about a cloud flow and how we can schedule our flow. We don't need to run it by how I can put a specific time, or at this time, or after 2 days send a reminder email, or every time at 9 a.m. send me the weather, what kind of weather we have today in Saudi Arabia. So it's up to you. We can use like a trigger. We can choose when and how to run the flow by using a schedule, a cloud flow. So make sure before I end up the session, just make sure to subscribe or register on the upcoming session. Let me show it to you from Meetup here. You can let me. It will happen by here. Here we go. It will happen next Friday. And the last part of Power Automated will be how we can make a descriptive flow. And I will take this opportunity to share with you my new website. So I have now my new website. I call it Agent008. And within this website, actually, you are able to check all my infographics if you are interested on all infographics, and you can download it from here. So I have a different infographics. Let me share the link with you. Just a minute. And also you can download it, and I'm doing a lot of infographics. And if you are interested in the Power Platform comics, I have a lot of comics. You can look at it at any time, and it's here. And also, if you are looking for the sessions that it happened before, like for Power BI, for Power Apps sessions, even for Power Automate, everything within my site. And for the upcoming sessions, you have two options. Either you can look at it from here or from Meetup. And there is a lot of things like I have a games, stickers, apps, and dashboard. A lot of things. So let me share the link with you. Feel free to look at it at any time. And if you have any question, anything, you can reach me out on my YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere. So let me add it now on chat. So do you have any question? And please make sure to sign up on Power Automate to try to practice. The homework for you today is to do what we did today, like create two templates from Power Automate, try to test it. And if you have already Twitter account and YouTube, try to use it and mention me if you like, so I can see that you are practicing on something. And also show me your results. So, and if you have any question, just let me know. Also try to prepare for the upcoming session by looking at the cloud flow and what kind of things that we can do with the cloud flow. And that's it for today. I hope really you enjoy it and you get some information from me. And thank you so much for joining today. So